baby, tomorrow is not promised. And the way that this final destination shiznit is going on Earth, I don't like it with his ugly ass. There are so many stories and you're like, what? Let me clutch my pearls. I am going to go and explain to y'all this story that made me say, oh no ma'am. And I hate the fact that a 61-year-old man named Keith has gone to the upper room because of an MRI machine that sucked him in like a Hoover vacuum cleaner. And I don't like it. And I want to send condolences to his wife, Miss Jones McAllister, because that was the last time she saw her husband. And she saw him in a traumatic death situation. Now, I'm going to roll the beam footage and we're going to come back and go down this rabbit hole. Let's go.
Machine last week at NASA Open MRI after he entered the room while wearing a large metal chain. He suffered several heart attacks and died a day later. The man was trying to help his wife up after she received a scan, and she described the horrific scene to local news.
I just can't believe. I still trying to wrap my head around the whole thing. He waved goodbye to me, and then his whole body went limp. That instant, the machine switched him around, pulled him in, and he hit the MRI. I said, could you turn up the machine, call 911, do something, turn this damn thing off?
The Big Weekend Show has reached out to NASA Open MRI for comment, and they have not yet responded. You know, Katie, this is, you know, it's a very rare, but obviously a man has lost his life. MRIs are they can be very dangerous. They have these large magnetic fields. The question I have is, why was a man who had not been pre-screened for this MRI, how did he get so close to that machine?
It seems like there's going to be a lot of liability for the company. They haven't commented on this. I think their attorneys are probably cautioning them against doing media interviews, but this poor woman went in for a pretty standard medical assessment and came out with a result that left her husband dead. So that's absolutely horrific, and I'm sure there's more information to come about this story.
Yeah, I have family in the medical field, and unfortunately, and I'm sure you can speak to this as well, Doctor, accidents actually do happen. Unfortunately, in this news environment, we do hear about the greater, most unusual ones, but they do happen with some regularity. People may not tell you that, but it can happen. I've never heard of a circumstance like this, however, and I'm still baffled by the fact that he was able to get that close and into those screening areas without being stopped by someone.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is we have several phases when it comes to an MRI, very safety zones essentially, and you have to have various screening at each level to get to that zone 3. Wearing a metal chain is a pretty big deal. As Katie said, I'm sure there's going to be some liability there, and we were missing a lot of information. But these accidents do happen. They're more commonly with like oxygen tanks, sometimes wheelchairs, hospital beds, or if a patient isn't doing well and someone emergently runs in, this is when you see it. But devastating for the family. And it's horrible. But you have to remember, routine medical care, there's always risks. You always have to be careful and make sure you listen to what people are saying.
100%.
Baby, that's a different level of grief. I had questions. I did when I heard the story at first. I said, say what? What happened? Roll that back, huh? Slow down? And then when I saw other videos explaining that you can't unplug an MRI machine, how powerful an MRI machine is, I said, because I have piercings, and now I'm like traumatized. Like, I don't even want to go in if it's my health I got to go check up on. Use somebody's iPhone. No, get one of these apps. I don't want no. So just to show you how strong that machine is, you know I got some more footage. Let's roll it and come back.
I'm going to show you what happens if you bring something magnetic inside the MRI room. You're going to use a set of keys right now, and I'm going to put them inside this bag.
Not good. Take a look at that.
Just watch. see. I'm going to show you.
Strong are the MRI magnets. Well, here you have 4 people, 4 playing tug of war with this thing. Why not just turn it off? Well, not only is it dangerous for the people in the room, but it can ruin a $3 million machine. So how strong are the MRI?
That's some powerful sucking. Now, there are so many protocols when you go to the hospital. I mean, baby, you can't go past this line. You can't go in this lobby. Sometimes they won't even let you go back there with your significant other or just whoever you're going to support. They won't let you go past the waiting room because it's a risk. So we're in this conversation. Did he get past the front door, the side door, and the inside door for the MRI room? Because they saw his chain. His wife said the person that was helping her talked to her husband. It was like, man, that's a big chain. And the chain was something that he used for his weight management. I'm assuming he was a fitness individual. I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you he looked good for his age. So I could tell that he was eating right or something, because he didn't give me 61 years of age. He really was giving me like mid 40s or something. But it's just something missing in this story. And I know the wife would not be sitting up here lying about what she saw when her husband came in and when he took his last breath. There's no way on earth. Now, legally, the hospital's responsible. If indeed she called for him, you know what survivor's remorse is? That's when you go through something traumatic, you live, and then somebody else that you care about or something else you care about does not. And then you have those replaying memories. And so you're like, dang, maybe I should have, or maybe it should have been me, or maybe I shouldn't have called him in here. You start saying things because you feel that you're the cause of it. And I pray this lady don't have to live through that. Now, why the hell did her husband just die? The news reporter got this thing on her face about some tell us more. Channel News 2, let's go. Like, get out that lady face. She grieving. She grieving with y'all ugly ass. Y'all stay trying to get a story when people are in their lowest. If you getting a story from somebody that's grieving, give them some cash. Okay? Now, they said that the magnetic force, and I showed you in those 2 videos, was so strong that he didn't even have a chance. As soon as he opened that door, that thing sucked him through. And it set his heart into multiple heart attacks. So she said his last thing was to grab her hand, and I was like, baby, that is a horrible memory to have of somebody you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. Do you hear me? Now, the technicians tried to pull him out, but in those other videos that I gave you, which was the keys and whatever that magnetic thing that the 4 doctors was pulling out, that thing's strong, baby. That thing got some suction on it. Now, if y'all saw this man with this big chain, he should have not been anywhere near any room with metal or radar, like technology, period. Because it's just a risk. Like, y'all got to really make sure everything is the same every single day. I get it. Family or patient, they want to get in with their loved ones. Baby, you can't go past here. Just like y'all tell us don't touch the hazardous bags and, unrobe or put this down, or y'all got a sanitizer room before we get in there. You got to make sure you put our families in order when it's time for us to go in. And you got to say, look, what you got on is going to put you at risk. Baby, it sounded like nobody was near that door. And if she was calling for help, the first person that should have came to her aid was the help aide or the technician or the RN or whoever is up there helping them get the MRI results done. He should have been nowhere near that floor for that type of room. Matter of fact, the room should have a buzz key entry so people just can't open the door on accident. Because there was a situation back in 2001 where a 6-year-old boy died of a fractured skull at a New York City medical center while undergoing an MRI exam. Now, the powerful magnetic force that we keep seeing propelled an oxygen tank across the room, and I don't know if it hit him or blew up on him. But the fact is, why the hell was that in that room? If y'all know, the suction power is giving Space Galactic. It's sucking things up. Ooh, child, I know y'all attorneys, like the lady said, got y'all keeping a quiet mouth, baby, because y'all definitely are liable. It is no amount of money you can put on that man's life. Y'all gonna have to tighten up, buddy. Y'all gonna have to tighten up. And this wasn't their first time visiting that hospital, because that was a follow-up of probably more follow-ups to come. So it was a routine for that family going into that particular provider. So we're not going to just say this was a new patient. They had no idea. She had an MRI, so I'm sure she had to go back to several rooms in the hospital that may have had danger zones and things of that nature. That lady is going to need a whole lot of counseling. A whole lot of counseling. Baby, she lost her husband and she saw him go. That ain't nothing nobody want to deal with. Now, whenever y'all get to talking hospital, I can't wait to listen, because something is missing. There's some puzzle pieces missing in this little puzzle, because there's just no way on earth that he came through. As risky as that jury was, he was allowed, not even allowed, nobody was there to make sure that he or anybody else would meddle anything or period came to, close by that room or that door. But you know what? Regulations, they ain't been regulating for a long time. And I hate the fact somebody had to die for y'all to step it up. Maybe y'all need to put some type of, again, entry key lock or something, a badge entrance or something on that door, baby, because there can't be another Mr. Keith. I hate that it was Mr. Keith to begin with. So to me, from me to your family, many condolences. I know that does nothing for your mental. It does nothing for your emotional. But this story is traumatizing. And this story is creeping me out, because I don't even want this for you. This should have never happened to you at all. So the fact that her last recollection of her husband was him waving by, that's even painful to read. When you love something, you love someone, and they die tragically, you do have questions for God. And I'm sure she got several. But we first got to ask, what was the hospital's negligence in this matter? Because somebody got some explaining to do, Lucy. Okay? Condolences to the family. But I'm just a messenger. It's your girl, Shaunie B. If you're cool with your girl, down for with your girl, make sure you check out my website, www.shauniebeentertainment.com. Check out the fan gear option to drop donations, but never any pressure to do either of the two, because I see the likes, the shares, the comments means the world to me. So I just want to say thank you from my lips to your ears to rock with me, because y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with me. Let's hop in the comments. Daily, I keep telling y'all about stories that's like, what? How could that happen? Allegedly, Shaunie B. How? I don't know, hell. We are living in the end of our times, because the creepiest crap is happening to some decent people. And I'm like, there are several people that should be gone. Not these people that are leaving. But when you think it can't happen, it does. Every time I turn around, it's a tragic story. It's becoming very hard to open up social media, because there's so much going on, and the brain can only take in so much. So when I say tomorrow's not promised, y'all, I mean that. Any shape, form, or fashion. You could be in the upper room. So please live today like it's your last. Even though you may have a long time here on earth, please celebrate each moment. Because when you get that call, or you see that your loved one is gone, that level of grief don't sit right. It take a while for you to heal. And I'm telling you from experience. So again, condolences to this family. Man, y'all, please be careful everywhere you go. Make sure you really abide by the rules of these rooms and these hospitals, or hell, everywhere you go. If there's regulations, hazard signs, and caution signs, and blocked off areas, respect that. Because, baby, your life count on that. And I'm not saying that to say that he did anything extra. I'm just saying, in general, it's always a risk somewhere and everywhere we go. Tell people you love them every single day, baby, for real. But until next time, next story, and I'm out this. Peace.